Hello, just laughing at my little dog there. I thought I'd make this video quickly now before it gets too dark. I did a video a day or two ago, whenever it was. Obviously it was only a little while ago, but you will have seen it a day or two. The caravan's arriving now. A day or two ago, whatever. So I've written, I was on about Indigo, wasn't I? Do you remember I spoke about star seeds and light workers and things like that. Sorry, I'm watching that caravan nearly smash into the edge. He's going to have another go. I think he's done it. Okay, this is, rather than talking about Indigo, I think there's enough out there on the internet. If you're really interested, just Google it, or I presume YouTube. I haven't looked, but I presume YouTube would be full of it and all the rest of it. But it is a bit of a list, really, of just some characteristics, but some ways and some stuff, really, that tells you whether you're an Indigo or not, quite simply. Now, obviously, a lot of this is applicable to lots of different people all over the place. But if this is all very, very applicable to you as a person, then yeah, you're going to be an Indigo. So obviously this is where I see me, where I fit, really. So Indigo people are normally intelligent, they're intuitive, they have a need to change the world, and they feel they're here on some kind of a mission, but they're not quite sure what that mission really is. They've normally been diagnosed with some form of a mental condition, not normally a severe mental condition, but some form of depression, dyslexia, ADHD, some sort of anxiety, things like that. They're very creative people, and normally within the arts. They often have sleeping difficulties, insomnia, etc. They have a history of some form of depression. There's a continuing depression. Excuse me. They love spending time in nature. They hate the government and control. They can't get to grips with that at all. They're free-spirited people, which is why they can't deal with those. They prefer nature and animals to people. They feel very different to everybody else. They can't put their finger on it. They're just different. Not better, not aloof, but just different. They can't stand stupidity. They prefer small crowds, and when they have to go into a big environment like a wedding or a supermarket, they tend to not stay for very long, or they tend to choose their times when they go shopping, or they limit their exposure to these big crowds. They prefer ones and twos, really, but they're comfortable with 5, 6, 7, 10 people at the max. They feel that their spirituality is right deep in their core, as if it's a second nature. They don't need to be taught by anybody. They don't need to read books. It is just inbuilt. It's in their core, in their bones, in their minds. It's in them, deep inside them. They don't need to follow a set path either. They just know that this is how they feel, that the whole of their spirituality actually defines them. They are highly sensitive people. Indigos often express themselves with creative dress sense, or jewelleries, tattoos, etc. Indigos have a bond with trees. Indigos normally are very bored and frustrated with school. They get very bored in school. Indigos can spot lies from 10 miles away, and they can't put a reason to that, they just feel it. Now the other thing with indigos are, if they're not interested, they're not interested, move on, job done. And often, not always, but often, it's things like mathematics. If they're in school, they're not interested, they just switch off. As they grow, it could be car mechanics. Again, if they're not interested, they just switch off. However, give them something like sociology, psychology, something like that, and they're fully focused, absolutely fully focused. Being sensitive people, they're very much in tune with nature, with the arts, with poetry. Bloody row. See, when you've got a caravan, right, you've got to put the old legs down. They've been fucking around for ages out there, piss-arsing around. When you get a motorhome, you back up, plug your electric in, put your kettle on, done. Yeah, that's the Indigo way. Anyway, yeah, I feel very much that I would be an Indigo person rather than an old soul or a light worker or a wastier or any other way, really, you know. I think Indigo definitely fits with me. If you're interested in these subjects, I mean, a lot of people are and a lot of people aren't, and that's cool, whatever. I mentioned in the last video, I think I called it light worker, star seeds, you know, whatever. So if you are interested in all of those, if you don't feel that you fit, or you like to know yourself on a deeper level, or your higher purpose, or you feel you're going through an awakening stage, or you've stepped up a level on a conscious level, or you're getting into meditation, or you're reading a lot of books that maybe you didn't read before to do with the brain, psychology, a spiritual path. If you're just wondering what else is out there, is this it? Is there more to life than this? If any of those things are you, then you're probably going through some form of an awakening, which I'll be talking about in the next video, really. But it may be worth trying to find out, you know, do you fit any of these things? Indigo, or light worker, or old soul, or crystal, or wastier, you know, starseed, whatever. Do you fit any of those? And then do a little bit of research on it, Google it or YouTube it or whatever, and just see if that path is where you're likely to head. Maybe other people have been there before you, maybe they've got some ideas and opinions, and maybe they can produce, kind of produce a feeling within you that, yeah, this is the path that I now need to follow. It may not be forever, and that's cool, you know, because I don't think anything really is set in stone. Anyway, just have a look and have a think, really. Hope you've enjoyed it. Just me chatting, really. Just a bit of a rambling, I tells you. Right, so the next video I will talk about a spiritual awakening. We'll see how we get on with that one. Take care then. Be well. Try and be glorious.